Good morning, Vietnam, or I guess Midtown Toronto. Today is Monday, January the 13th. At least I think it is. It's 11:15 a.m. and as you can see, we are getting some snow right now. Some big fluffy snow flurries are coming down. I had more ambitious plans in mind for this morning's live stream, but somehow ended up right around the corner from where I live.
Hey.
I just went live.
What's that?
We just went live.
Did you really?
It is Mr. Mountain Biker, not Mr. Mountain Hiker. What are the odds of that?
I know. Where are you headed?
I was actually going to go downtown and start at the lake, but had a late start, so I'm going to do the opposite.
Yeah,
We're
fair.
going that way.
Have you been seeing the police blitz they're doing right at Yonge and Eglinton here?
Oh, getting people turning?
Oh man, so the police now sit and wait. And all the illegal turns, and everyone gets pulled over. It's the most satisfying thing to watch.
That's awesome. Ideally, we'd have cameras doing that, but
Yeah.
I'll take it. That's awesome.
Anyways, how go on?
You need better gloves than that, man.
You know what? I get warm. I run hot.
Oh, wow.
I know, it sounds ridiculous.
I'm the opposite. Well, cheers. Good to see you. Wow, what a coincidence. Right at the start of the stream. I had no idea. I guess he didn't either. We were both going to be here, but that was a longtime viewer, Mr. Mountain Hiker. And I see Sheena Roberts here, Daniel, Guardian Angel, Josh, Denise, Karen on the Humber, I Like to Walk, Jeanette Morales, Matthew B, Divyesh Patel, Vivian Johnson, Sarah Raju, Steph Curry, The Lonely Leaf, Chris Griffin, and everyone else. Thank you so much for tuning in. As I was mentioning to Mr. Mountain Biker, I was planning on starting at the lake and going north, but you know, sometimes sleep and that sort of thing gets in the way. So instead, we're going to start north and go south. This is probably my most streamed route on this channel, but we might take a few detours on the way. It's also my first time doing this in 2025. Aiden Thompson McGuire is here, Guardian Angel. And Jeanette sent a super chat last night for a warm beverage after this morning's live stream. I assure you that's going to come into play a bit later on. Aiden Thompson McGuire, 279. Thank you so much, Aiden Thompson McGuire, for the 279. Cheers to you. Whoops, no one needs to see me 2 times up. And by the way, Tiana, happy birthday. I learned on my live stream last night that it's your birthday today. The live stream I did on the Johnny Stumbles channel. All the best to you. But it is -1, but it's kind of windy. It feels colder than that. This is not a pleasant -1. Will I be visiting TMU today? Probably not. I don't think we're going to get that far. My plan is to do this live stream, turn around and go home. Pick up a lunch or a hot chocolate on the way. Toronto Moose is here. But that's my plan for today. I've got 3 videos to edit and upload. We got a pile of laundry to do. I didn't do my workout yet, so my whole day is pretty much spoken for. But we gotta get those 15,000 steps in. Wayne says -1, but feels like -12. Yeah, that seems about right. In fact, I'm almost thinking of double gloving my right hand. I don't know how the heck Mr. Mountain Hiker is wearing those thin gloves. He said he runs hot. And just an FYI, If you do have a high resolution monitor, click the settings cog and make sure you're running this in 2160p 60 or 1440p. This is another stream, at least for the winter. While it's cold out, I'll be streaming at this very high resolution. The camera does get kind of hot, but you have natural cooling counteracting that. Let me just adjust something here on. I don't understand why YouTube just did something. We can check out the pigeons for a moment while I fiddle with my phone. There we go. Daniel says January is the most brutal month of all. It's not even close. I think only saved by the fact that February is a few days shorter. Whoa. That guy just came out and caused a lot of those pigeons to flutter off. But this is Yonge and Eglinton. We're here in Midtown, going south on a cold ass morning.
On Friday?
Greetings, Soliata. There's a cop with someone pulled over. Mr. Mountain Hiker was talking about how the police have been blitzing this intersection. It's been a real problem. Almost every time I walk by here, there's several people holding up the intersection, trying to make turns. It's plastered with no left or right turn signs all over the place. But that doesn't really deter the many bad drivers that pass through here. When is the next bike protest? I think there's been a stay. It's been delayed till March at least. It's in the courts, so I don't think we'll see any bike action until then. If there is a protest or group ride, I'll try to ride along. I pop into Reddit and some different groups online. So there hasn't been any major rides lately, but I think that's because there's a very temporary victory in place. There's something we don't see nearly enough of in this city: traffic enforcement. As we walk past Eglinton Station. And if you're wondering where this morning's video was, if you're a newer viewer to the channel, a few times a week, not week, month, I like to skip the morning video and do a live stream instead. David W. McCory says the stream is excellent, looking crystal clear on your OLED. That's the idea. Thank you. As we walk by the Canadian Tire and TVO offices, oh, there's a guy salting the sidewalk. A Petrus is here. Steve Edwards says people should be out stopping crime. People don't feel safe. Well, have you ever walked around the city? If you want to talk about not feeling safe, there is enemy number one, the unchecked motorist. But yeah, we need a stepped up police presence in a lot of areas, no doubt. I was watching, or I was on Reddit this morning, and there's a video on Toronto driving of someone going the wrong way on Highway 427. How do you go the wrong way on the highway? It is just madness how bad the driving is. Tricky Dicky 12, 19.99 pounds. Love your vids and chat. Have a beer on you. Wow, those are British pounds. That's going to be more than a beer on you. That's about 3 or 4 beers. Thank you, Tricky Dicky. Your name rings a bell. Have I? There's a happy person seeing you on Orchidelia's videos or streams. Daniel says statistical last week, January and first week of February are the coldest, but at least the days are getting noticeably longer compared to late December and early January. That's true. That's a feather in February's cap. This is a long, cold, miserable month. It's a great month to hop on a plane and go somewhere tropical. Which I am planning on doing. So we got a little bit of snow last night, not a whole lot, and there's some flurries now. You can see a fresh coating. Oh, Mike Landry, sorry I missed that. Thank you, Vivian. $3. Hello, Johnny, for a hot chocolate. Sorry, Mike, but thank you so much. When it's colder and my hands are all busy with gloves keeping warm and stuff, I might miss the odd one. Thank you, Mr. Landry. Jennifer asking, did I check out the Chick-fil-A at STC? Well, if you stuck around to the end of the video, you would have found that out. Sam A says, my husband and I watched your aquarium video last night and really enjoyed it. So we had to watch Aquaman after. That's a, that movie was pretty good, the first one. I heard the second one was terrible. I never watched it. That's what I heard. Is it really jaywalking when traffic has nowhere to go? Have I started packing for my trip? No. When I went to Korea and Japan, I literally packed the night before. I bought my plane ticket 3 days before. I'm a carry-on only kind of traveler. No need to really pack much, although sometimes you go to a place where it's nice and hot and you find out their sunscreen is $40. Johnny for Premier. Oh, you don't want me anywhere near a political office. Morning, Derek C. You cannot stay, but you can listen to the stream. Podcast style. It's an advantage of YouTube Premium. Math Doctor, you'll have to wait and see. But after I get back from this trip, I'm going to get my passport renewed. Some very light snow flurries. Morning, Ben. There's a Struck Tube. It's the store I bought my couch from. There is my couch. They've still got it. Yeah, after I get back from this trip, I'm gonna renew the passport. Then once I'm back, or once I've got the new passport, I'll probably be booking the next trip. Maybe that'll be March or April. Morning at Nicole Morse as we get hit by a ton of wind. Ooh. Pizza Shop. I always thought that was an interesting name for a pizza restaurant. Marge, $5. It's a hot chocolate kind of day. It is indeed. I had my morning smoothie and a hot coffee. Thank you, Marge, for the $5. It's definitely going to go towards a drink. Jennifer asking, do I keep a regular distance? No, I just track my steps. Well, my watch does for me. I think I averaged about 17,000 a day last week. My stupid watch thinks Monday is the first day of the week, so it's not in sync with the rest of my stuff. So we're on the first day of the week according to the dummies who made the Amazfit fitness app. They're calling for freezing drizzle at some point, you guess, whenever the wind creates enough wind chill. Hey, we've got over 400 viewers. Not bad for a morning live stream. It's 11:33 a.m. I called this morning commute because I used to walk this way to work sometimes when I worked in the financial district. I would start at my apartment, of course, in Midtown. I would head south, mostly down Yonge. I'd often do that in the nicer months, though. I never did that in the winter, unless there was TTC problems. First class Clothier. Any size coats, $40. Oh, that's to rent. Lowe says the Nexus is not worth waiting for in customs. If you use the ArriveCan app, you basically get the same privilege when you arrive internationally. You go to a queue that has absolutely nobody in it and you waltz right through. I was not a fan of the ArriveCan app at all, but it saves me like 10-15 minutes when I land, so I suck it up and use it. I don't go to the States enough to really warrant a Nexus, but for those that do, it's definitely worth it. As we walk by Davisville Station, headquarters of the Toronto Transit Commission. Gotta keep an eye on my battery life. We are down to 80%. 22 minutes in, so if we extrapolate, I could get about an hour and 40. I do have a battery bank on me. Ben, holy shit. For your Amazfit, open the ZEP, go to profile, click on your device, scroll down somewhere, fourth from the bottom should be week starts with. You are a hero. Open ZEP. All right, I've got my ZEP app open. I clicked profile. All right, I'm lost. I'll go back and address that. Thank you. Why would they default it to Monday? What kind of weirdo thinks Monday is the first day of the week? Every calendar ever made starts with Sunday. Yes, I'm that stubborn. I think that's restricted access, that little area, but we can take a closer look in a moment. You're starting a new religion where Thursday is the first day of the week? I don't think religion gets to dictate the calendar and days of the week, but hey, if you want to play that game, go ahead. Ron, $20. Ron. Thank you so much, Ron, for the super chat. That is ultra appreciated. I'm running out of adjectives here, but thank you, Ron. As we overlook a mini TTC yard, there's actually 3 boarding platforms at Davisville Station. It's kind of a neat configuration. As we walk through the snow, I've got the Zero Alpine barefoot shoe boots on. Mr. Danny says, I think you're by the Davisville yard. That's correct. That's the K. Gardner Beltline Park Trail above Mount Pleasant Cemetery over there on east side of Yonge Street. Come from away, the remarkable true story. So wondering where we are? There we are. Oh, sorry to hear that, Christina. Good morning, Brad Palmer. I saw your ice fishing adventures the other day. Neat stuff. The things you get to do up north. Alex says, you said if Canada becomes the 51st state, you're leaving. Oh, I'd rather keep the conversation light, but that will never happen. So yeah, if the impossible happens, I'll just retire to a beach somewhere. I mean, from a content point of view, it might be kind of juicy staying around for that, but no thanks. As a northbound train passes a southbound train, we got dual train action. Look at them rock through those slow zones. Go TTC. Good job on the track maintenance there. You too can ride the world's slowest moving subway. Just board anywhere on line 1. Maybe bring Moby Dick to read, because it'll take that long to get from Eglinton to Yonge and Bloor. B. Coleman says, did you have scrambled eggs with hot sauce for breakfast? No, I had a smoothie. Then I chugged a coffee. Whoops. Then we came out and started streaming. But we are making our way towards Yonge and St. Clair. Is ice fishing allowed on the water around Toronto Islands? I have no idea. Mando says, is this today? You see a lot of snow? No, this is 4 weeks ago. That's where Loblaws gets all their fish from. Greetings, Derek C. I don't know if awesome is the right word to describe it, but I won't complain. Your speed 30. They need one of these speed cameras pointing, or speed detectors pointing at the sidewalk. I want to know how fast I'm going. Mr. Danny says, how does your camera not die? Well, I'm not sure what exactly you're referencing, but Apparently I have 69% battery. In cold weather and hot water, or hot water. Well, I guess that too, but whether it's hot or cold, it chops through the battery pretty quickly. I only switched back to streaming with the phone a few weeks ago. Lisa is here. But again, happy birthday, Tiana. I'm going a number I cannot comprehend per hour. Thank you for calculating that, Mr. Danny. There's the Lawton Parquet. It's another gray-ass, gloomy day. Yesterday was kind of like this too. I went out and got a video recorded on the east side yesterday. One that went through Scarborough, East York, and Old Toronto. But that won't be on the channel until Thursday at the earliest. As I mentioned at the start of this one to Mr. Mountain Hiker, I wanted to go down to the lake and walk north from there. But the problem is I was too damn comfortable in my bed. I snoozed a little too long, so I went to plan B. I just streamed from near where I live and we're going in that direction. We're not going to make it to the lake. I don't think so, but we're going in that direction. Tiana says, thanks, Johnny. So here says, cheers from Algeria. Thanks to you, I now know every corner of Toronto. You might know downtown quite well, and much of Midtown, and parts of some popular neighborhoods outside of the area, like maybe the Junction, Bloor West Village, Riverdale, Leslieville, Willowdale, but there are many corners of the city that I haven't covered a whole lot of. Well, Denise, I'm sure if our country was on fire, you guys would be sending help as well. I'm sure even the Orange Man might do that. Cactus Steve is here. Good morning, Cactus Steve. Sidewalk closed. Pedestrians use other sidewalk. Looks open to me. Not seeing where it's closed here. Well, Neville, I would say I'm more of an urbanist and not so much a suburbanist, but that's one way to put it. Although the video going up tomorrow is kind of interesting. I walked 3 stroads in Scarborough and cut through a residential area as well. One with a lot of neat homes, where almost every single one of them had a carport, which was kind of unusual. As we arrive at Yonge and St. Clair. Daniel asking Jeanette if Houston has the local maps posted around the city to like what we do. This is the 512 or St. Clair where the 512 streetcar roams. This is still Midtown. Most people consider Midtown, or when they think of Midtown, they think of Yonge and Eglinton. But this is a major Midtown node. Yeah, there's a ravine just over to the east, but the pedestrian trail was closed last time I went there. You can't get very far on it if you want to go south down the Yellow Creek. Thank you, Tim Chow. Brian says he almost ran you over. I don't know. I was just standing there, so I don't blame that motorist for turning there when they did. And that's one thing you guys can't see when I'm streaming. Often I'll make contact or eye contact with the driver and give a little nod, like, go ahead. If someone does something shitty and stupid in front of me, I usually call it out. There's Book City. Hey, we got a super sticker. For reals, $2.49 for reals. Thank you so much. Whoa, the exposure was weird there. Thank you for reals for the support. And big thanks to everyone who has tuned in. Do like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that fun stuff. I don't take channel sponsors normally, so I rely on you guys. I mean, do you really want me interrupting my videos to try to sell you a pair of shitty earbuds some company wants me to peddle? Because I've got an email box full of that sort of thing. I'll do it from time to time if I think it's something I can get behind and there's value there, but a lot of times it's just cheap shit from China. I'm not asking for donations. I'm just glad you guys are watching. Thank you for tuning in. It's not as windy now as it was when I started the stream. Ooh, that Porsche just blatantly ran a red light. Hence the honk you heard. Mark says this video is sponsored by Olivia Chow, and I can't even bring myself to say the S word. And Dundas Square. Ready Eddie is here. Greetings, Ready Eddie. It was fun seeing you on New Year's Eve. Kim actually needs new earbuds. I'm fond of the Sony LinkBuds S. I have those and I have the new AirPods Pros. which work just fine and dandy with Android. But in the winter, I'm all about the over-the-ear headphones. Johnny should be a pitchman for huge, properly situated TV screens. Not sure if that lady is aware how stop signs work, but she's supposed to stop before it. There's a cafeteria, the Joel and Melissa Feldberg. Oh, sorry. I think we got recognized. It's either that or they just saw the camera on the gimbal, but I don't want to stand there too long peering into the window. I'm sure not everyone wanted to be on a live stream. Donna for him says hi. Yeah, we've cracked 600 viewers. Awesome stuff. Gertej asking what's for lunch. I don't know. I'm going to be hungry after this one. I might pop into a cafe, grab a bite, and have a warm beverage. This is Woodlawn Avenue. There's a lot of really, really nice residential streets between here and Avenue Road along this stretch. Johnny is the modern day King of Kensington. I think I couldn't bear any less resemblance to Al Waxman if I tried. Nice walk, good day for a soup and a sandwich. I was talking to a guy who streams in New York City who's going to be trying out Starlink. That's a satellite-based internet provider to assist with their live streams. And I know there is someone else doing that as well. I think Walking Commuter attempted to use it on one of his streams. I think we're fortunate enough in Toronto we don't have to resort to that. I've been able to haul in a 4K signal with almost no disruption pretty much all over the place lately. As we go south down Yonge, Coco says, I like that neighborhood. What is better, to take the subway or a car to downtown East York, North York? What's better? It depends where you start from. If you're going downtown, depends what time of day and your route and the traffic. And if you have a car, too many variables. But if you're able to get to the subway relatively quickly, that will almost always be the best option, providing where you're going to is near a subway. I last owned a car in the city, I think in 2006. Shaftesbury, Summerhill Station across the street. Just another one of these nice residential streets. Spinco, look at all the lockers. That's a spin class business. One that might not be there too long. There's a 22-story building being proposed for that lot. Work, sweat, achieve. This is my cardio. I just walk. And twice a week I do a sprint up about 10 flights of stairs as fast as I can. Oh, Boxcar Social. It's very quiet in there. Sadly, they closed their location in Leslieville recently, or I guess Riverside to be more specific. It's a really neat local cafe though. Your name is actually Donna? Sorry if I mispronounced it. I've said it before, I'd be the world's worst substitute teacher. As we walk underneath the Midtown CP rail line. A very colorful passageway at that. Whippy Dude says fun stumbles last night. Thank you. Yeah, it was a good stream. Had some interesting callers at the end. I think it was Chris from Hamilton who was armed with a couple of questions for me. Could have built a surface line across instead of the Eglinton crosstown. Well, they could do both. The Eglinton line should have been built way back when that dummy Mike Harris was in office and he pulled the shovels out of the ground. They would have started with the Eglinton West subway and that would have been extended east probably by now, but Reese from RM Transit has speculated what they could do with that Midtown line there in terms of providing transit options. But the problem is those lines are all controlled by freight rail companies and they make sure they get priority. It's one of the single biggest hindrances to proper high-speed rail in both Canada and the US. Fancy lunch. Johnny, would you ever consider teaching at a school again, says Math Doctor. I don't know. I felt like I was an imposter when I was teaching. Like they hired me more because I was a Canadian who spoke English than anything else. That was like it was a private school I taught at. And all the teachers kind of had blonde hair and blue eyes. I was a hazel-eyed teacher, but I got the feeling we weren't so hired for our qualifications as much as it was to say to the parents, look at these stereotypical Canadian English-speaking teachers we got for your kids. And my school also hired more Canadians than Americans. But it was fun. They treated us well, paid us well, had a great place to live. But would I do it again? Maybe if I was like a few years shy of retirement and just needed an easy way to work, but that job probably won't be there for me in 20 years. Who knows? But I guess no, I wouldn't. Even if so many of the restaurants along this stretch, some are so-so. Yeah, it's kind of an interesting stretch because it's not very high density. There's a lot of wealthier, low density, single family homes. So it's nowhere near as vibrant as, say, other stretches of Yonge Street. And the places seem to be a bit more upscale, meaning you'll pay a bit more. David C. says it makes sense. Koreans are not paying top dollar for Indians to teach English to their kids. Well, you say that, but many Korean people do go to the Philippines to study English. Many come to Canada, of course, but I knew a lot who went there for a year or two to study. It's a much cheaper option, one where they also get to be in an amazing climate. That is one country I traveled to where there was zero language barrier. Every single person understood me. Did I accidentally pin that message? I did not mean to pin that. I don't think mods can unpin messages, right? Mr. Danny says goodbye, see you soon. Jeanette says English is the language of commerce and education in the Philippines. It's kind of neat when you listen to the locals speak there. They splice in a lot of English in with their Tagalog. They will literally go in and out of both languages mid-sentence. I don't know if they do that anywhere else in the world. That used to be a plaza with a Starbucks. James Purse. I bet that's expensive. The Rebel House, serving local favorites to your favorite locals. The Cocoa Market. Tea with Tams, that when I was applying, the requirements were you needed a university degree and you had to show them sealed transcripts, or had to bring them sealed transcripts that were notarized, and you had to provide your birth certificate. So they were pretty adamant on you being native to Canada. But yeah, they had no way of knowing if you were a native French speaker before English. But other countries had different requirements. And things might have changed since then, but that's what it was like when I went back in 2007. There's Ramsden Park. There's an ice rink over there. as we make our way south down Yonge Street.
I know it's not something I used to do.
Toronto Solid Waste Management Services Division and Litter Operations. How's my French? Not very good. I got roasted for my pronunciation of a lot of things in my Montreal videos. Oddly, not so much in the videos I made in Paris. They were a lot less hypercritical. But I guess the Québécois can be like that, a little overly sensitive sometimes. Hey, you pronounced it wrong. I'm gonna write a very strongly worded comment. This is Belmont Street. Over there's Almer, and that will turn into Rosedale Valley Road. Epic Nation HD is here. Greetings, Liam. Member for 22 months at the God tier level currently. Epic Nation HD, thank you, Liam, for your good work as a mod, as well as 22 months of channel membership. Johnny, can you sing happy birthday in Korean? I forget. And I think it's for the better of everyone that I forget. The world is a better place if I am not singing. And since French is easier to read than speak, I would say. That was kind of interesting. It might have looked like that car was turning into me, but their vision would have been impaired by that truck being parked there. But that's a designated loading spot. Could be an accident waiting to happen. Those tall towers straight ahead are the north end of downtown, so I'll have made good on the title of this stream, from Midtown to downtown, once we get there. Johnny going straight to the lake to polar bear dip. No. I was gonna start at the lake, but we'll do that another day. Okay, I'm asking if I'm cold. Not really. I've got a bit of the sniffles going on, but that's kind of unavoidable in these conditions. But I'm plenty warm for the most part. Hold in here for 1 second. Johnny Strides, great to see you walking. Big ups for the team. Hope to see you there when you come back. Awesome. Yeah, this is the terminus of Church Street up ahead, as well as Davenport Road. You could go west on Davenport, you could go east on Church, and that'll bend over to Bloor, and then it'll just go straight down all the way to just south of Front Street in the St. Lawrence neighborhood. I've done a few videos covering all of Church, and maybe it's time I do another one from top to bottom. You can see some of the new towers in Yorkville. That is the Four Seasons right there in the center. Okay, we've broken the 1 hour mark on the stream. Yeah, some people have asked me about Henry. Henry left a message on his community tab about his status. Maybe I'll reach out to him and see if he wants to update it. I don't think it's my place to break any news that other YouTubers tell me. They've got their own platforms, so I'm not going to say what's up if I have insider info, but I will reach out to him again. Daniel asking how many steps so far. Let's see. I don't even think we've hit 10,000 yet. Oh no, we are... What a 7,000 steps on the day. You can see I slept for 7.5 hours, an hour of deep sleep. My heart health, only 1169 calories. Stress nice and low, pi, whatever the hell that is. So we're doing well. If I don't hit 10K on the stream, I'll definitely hit it before I get home. Thomas says, I'm glad to see you healed as well. Oh, my right arm, which is my gimbal arm, is still smarting a little bit. I fell down a flight of stairs yesterday and landed on my right arm. It had a bruise on my elbow. You have the iPhone 16 Pro Max? No, I have a 15 Pro. I don't like the Max phones. They're too heavy for a gimbal. I also have an S24 Ultra. That's my daily driver phone. And I have an iPhone 12, which is my webcam. And all three of them are using their data signals to power this stream. There's Balzac's. Jeanette, if you're there, that's the Toronto Reference Library. Big famous public library here. Yeah, Liam, we are quite close to 130K. Yeah, it says you fell down the stairs. Yeah, I was going down, I think it was Sakura Coffee. I was having some Japanese brunch. They had these rubber coated stairs. I went down a little too confidently. I slipped and went tumbling. Crash landed on my arm. Mike Landry, $2 for getting close to 130K. Thank you, Mike Landry. Thank you so much, Mike. Cheers to you. Cam says, have you been icing it? No. It's a little sore, but we'll be fine. I've got to hit the weights after this stream, so that'll be a good test. Do some overhead pressing. Let's see how the arm and elbow feels. Good morning, AKA Productions. All right, ta-da, we made it. We're downtown. Now what? Now what? Not too long ago, I started here and I went along Charles over to Bay. Let's go along Bloor, maybe to Bay, and then we'll go down a little bit. We'll get off Yonge Street. D Boutique gifted 1 Johnny Strides membership. Sean Ginter was gifted a membership. Thank you so much for gifting the channel membership, and welcome to channel membership, Sean. Membership includes such awesome features as a monthly notice from me, just updating the channel and what I'm up to. I try to do a members exclusive video every month. And you get a cool badge next to your name. If you're supporting on Patreon, you don't get the cool badge, but you do get the ability to DM me directly. As I mentioned, I don't take many sponsors, so your support goes a long way. As we walk by Holt Renfrew. Denise says it's awesome we have so many bike routes in our city. It's definitely something that's massively improved, but this bike lane in particular is under attack. Despite it leading to an immense increase in the number of cyclists, an increase in business at the cash register where it counts along this route, and not contributing at all to congestion times of traffic. There's a moron who thinks removing it will be for the better. As we get near Bay Street, and unfortunately that's the one moron who has the ability to make such a thing happen. We'll just leave it at that, but cities are to be lived in safely. We're gonna go south at Bay Street here for a little bit. Jellybean wants Italy. I was on the bus the other day and went by the shops at Don Mills, and they have an Italy there I was not aware of. Paul Blunt, don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm still Johnny. Okay, I'm not gonna sing it to that. I know that tune. But thank you, Paul Blunt, for the $6.99. I was midway through reading it when it occurred to me how you wanted me to read that. This is Bay Street. Christos is having a tuna poke bowl. Greetings, Princess Margaret. Battery-wise, we are down to 30%. This iPhone is dropping. There's Earl's next to an Indigo. Jerry L, $10. Enjoy a warm drink on me. Jerry L, that is precisely what I'm going to do right after the live stream. I think I'm going to hit a cafe, have some lunch and a hot chocolate, or at least a hot tea or coffee. Thank you, Jerry L. Thank you very much. This is Charles Street coming up as we go south down the east side of Bay Street. Not really sure where the destination is, but we're going to stream for at least a little while longer. There's Babe Bluer Radio. The best way to describe this place is like a super fancy Best Buy. A wall with Sony TVs. They definitely have some Bravia 9s in there. Oh, hello.
How are you?
Good, how are you? Friendly viewer. Just as I was peering into an electronics store. The Slab Pizza, fresh. We'll let this truck turn. My fingers are too cold here. Am I missing something? Liam, what's going on? Someone's having their messages deleted and being hidden? I don't see what's wrong. Spill some water on your keyboard? As we are going south down Bay Street. Ooh. Rath says, when you first started filming in public, were you nervous? No, not really. There's so many people doing it now that I don't really get any weird looks or anything like that anymore. And if I do, oh well. But yeah, like 5 years ago when I started doing this, there weren't so many people walking around with cameras in hand. I think I only ever had like one incident all of last year in Toronto of someone taking issue with it, and they were clearly mentally ill. We're at 682 viewers. Thank you so much, guys. I think for January, I'll probably do one, sometimes two morning live streams or early afternoon live streams in lieu of posting regular videos. I'll still be doing some evening and nighttime streams, of course, as well as whenever else I feel like it. Wouldn't it be easier on your arms with the chest mount? Yeah, but then aiming the camera would be really, really difficult. And you would also have a much more pronounced like bounce when I walk. There's a bit of an art to holding the gimbal with your hand and smoothing things out a little bit because it's only a 3-axis, not a 4-axis gimbal. I use the chest mount when I ride a bike or scooter, but for walking it's not very good. I actually did one video hands-free. I think I did it in the rain. Even though a gimbal was being used, it wasn't very stable looking. Also, how do you like pan up and look at something when the camera's on your chest? Did you like do the knees over toes thing? It's getting windy, and our battery life is starting to hit a critical area. Let me pull over here. Maybe there's no wind in this little nook, and I'll get out my battery pack. Yeah, it looks like there's some unpleasant substances here on this thing. Hopefully my camera doesn't blow over. I just realized my phone could fit through one of those slots. This is a very stupid place for me to put it. Let's put it on the ground. Fishing out one of my batteries here. All right, now we gotta hook the battery pack up. One sec, guys. Do. Get in there. Get in there. This would be so much colder, or so much easier if it wasn't freezing. There we go. Oh, my gimbal just decided to spaz a little bit. We're on the juice. We are on the juice. Looks like that might have unbalanced the gimbal a little bit. You know what? I want to try something. Camera, streams, Bella box, video. All of a sudden it is really windy.
Very specific education.
What street are we on? We're on Bay Street. It looks like my camera is kind of wobbling a little bit. Does it look just as steady to you guys? As we go south down Bay Street, I didn't rebalance it in the gimbal when I plugged in the battery bank. But I kicked up the stabilization in the software. Yeah, my gimbal doesn't like all the weight. Go back. Oh God. All right. Well, that was a good experiment. Let me get my gimbal. Sorry guys. This is when I should be putting that like technical difficulties message up. Well, so much for that idea. I gotta put this down. So when I go to plug in the battery bank when it's super windy out, the gimbal can't take it. I might need to buy a stronger gimbal. Oh well. You've got 20% battery life. Let's see if we can get to College Park. Let's get to College Park and then I'll have myself some lunch down there. Also, I'm curious if my voice is in sync now or if it's out of sync. Let me know. I don't know if my voice is going to be in sync because of the stabilization mode. Like pan up and look at something. The camera's on your chest and you like do the knees over toes. Also, I'm curious if my voice is in sync now. Oh, it is in sync. So this should be super smooth right now. Ideally. Anything to eat at College Park, says Christos. I don't know. I'm just gonna put all my equipment away and figure it out. There's an OPP car. Someone asking how long have we been streaming today? An hour and a half. Yeah, we're just gonna go down to College Park. But I hope you're having a good birthday, Tiana. Cheers to you. Thanks for joining into the Johnny Stumbles live stream last night. Cam asked who's down with OPP. Do I remember Psy Gangnam Style? How do I not remember that? I was living there when that happened. All right, the iPhone's at 10% battery. I'm stubbornly not gonna plug it in. So this is a race to see if we can get to College Park before we lose all power. But if it does cut off, I want to thank everyone who tuned in. I want to thank the mods for their good work, Patreon supporters, channel members, everyone who sent a super chat as well. I'm making a conscious decision to not plug the battery in with my current setup. I just learned if there's any wind at all, it can't handle it. I just need a better gimbal, I think. One rated for a little more weight. This is College Street here. So we are almost there. Gaby says, best of luck. At some point, my phone's just gonna blank out. I don't know how it's gonna handle it. Cam says this stream has been lit. Define lit. But you guys have been awesome. I was hoping to go for a little longer, but the battery gods are saying this is all she wrote. guess I could get some IKEA hot dogs, but that wouldn't be very healthy now, would it? Here's to hands-free Johnny making a comeback in 2025. Not so sure about that, eh? There's Aura. All right, battery 10%. But sometimes when it gets low, it just decides to shut down without warning. Johnny, your picture is so crisp you feel like you're walking on the sidewalk with me. Thank you, Wayne. That's part of the reason why the battery life is so shite. I'm pushing this thing as hard as it can go. But I think I'm gonna go order me a new gimbal. I had to buy a special cable to plug in with my wireless audio receiver because there wasn't enough clearance. I got that tested and working, and now I'm learning that the gimbal can't manage the extra weight load. At least not if there's any wind involved. Fun times. These are me problems, not you problems. It's my job to figure that out. It's always fun to tinker. But we're here at the ice rink, the Barbara Ann Scott Ice Trail. And even if it were above zero, there would still be skating here. Because there is in-ground refrigeration. Or freezing, cooling, whatever you want to put it, but I want to thank everyone who tuned in. I want to thank our mods for their great work. Channel members, Patreon supporters, plug it in and go handheld. We're good. We stream for an hour and a half in the winter. In the summer, that wouldn't be very good, but in the winter, I'll take it. But that is all she wrote. There'll be a video tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. EST on the channel, so come in, say hi for that. And that's about it. Thank you again, Mike Landry, and happy birthday to you, Tiana. All right, have a good night, guys. Good night. Well, somewhere in the world it is night, I guess. We used up 11.5 gigabytes on this stream. Not too bad. Oh, there's my low battery warning. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Yoink.